The West Johnston JOCO Teen Drivers held its 9th annual mock car crash on April 14th of this year. The students planned and worked closely with the local 5210 fire, police, and EMS departments to recreate a real wreck to let students know what really happens when they get into a fatal car crash. We feel having our local fire and EMS teams help us to recreate this wreck really hits home with the teenagers because these workers are West Johnston alumni and our students' family members. The JOCO started out the day by having two speakers talk to the students about their own experiences and why students should make a pledge to drive safe. Our two speakers were Officer Ricky West, an officer in Onslow County who works closely with driver education and was in a speeding accident when he was a teen, and Miss Greater North Carolina, Ashley Underhill, a sister who lost her brother to a racing accident a few years ago. These speakers showed pictures and spoke about personal experiences to help the students think before they speed, don't buckle up, or make a bad decision behind the wheel. After the speakers talked with students, West Johnston JOCO showed a video that was created by the members to set up the scenario for the crash they were about to see. Our main focus for the video were the 5 areas of risky behaviors for teens, and the students made sure that those were a part of the scenario. This year, our driver was an underage permit driver who was told to drive because he was the least drunk of all the people in the car. It was a video of them before prom in the car, texting, drinking, not wearing their seatbelts, and not paying attention to the road. The video ended in a car crash.
Whoa, watch out!
After the video, students were asked to make their way to the football field, where they witnessed the mock car crash. After the fire and EMS worked so hard to save the victims, the drunk driver was arrested. White sheets were placed over the deceased, and the victims who survived were looked over by EMS or taken out on a stretcher. After the reenactment was over, JOCO Teen Drivers played a voiceover, obituaries, and bios to let the students know how the survivor's life has been since the wreck and what the deceased were going to miss out on because they lost their lives that day.
My name is Gavin Brundage, and I died today when I was thrown from the vehicle because I did not take the time to put on my seatbelt. Partying was fun, but was it worth it? Was it worth my life? Why was I stupid enough to get in a car with a drunk driver? Why was I drinking? I was underage. Because of my death, I will never graduate from high school, and I will never get the soccer scholarship I worked so hard for. I will never be able to go to college and live on my own. I will never get to graduate med school and become a sports medical doctor. I'm going to miss out on the opportunity to raise children, spend quality time with them, and maybe even be their soccer coach. I will never be able to go to a professional soccer game with my dad. I will never be able to do anything because of me making a stupid decision that night.
The team planned this event before prom to remind students that they were not the only victims of an accident, but their family, friends, and school are too.
Participating in the mock car crash, it was very surreal. I didn't take it as seriously until about whenever it starts and you see the white sheets go over. Seeing people who are really close to my heart and who I love like that, it's very hard to see, and you can't take that as a joke. I mean, it's very serious to put the white sheet over your boyfriend or your best friend.
For State Trooper Tommy Emery, car crashes like this are a reality.
Drunk driving has lifetime effects to the person who was driving drunk, the families, injuries, fatalities. It has lasting effects. My advice for teen drivers would be driving the speed limit's a whole lot easier than walking it. Just take your time. Like I said earlier, take that extra breath, that extra second to think about the situation you're in, make a smart decision. This program, JOCO Teen Driving, really relays to the students how severe things can be if they're not careful driving.
Audience member Kayla Eubanks got emotional during the event.
It brought back the memories from when my brothers were in their car accident. They almost lost their lives, and they were also carrying 3 other passengers with them. When I first sat down, I really didn't know what was going to happen, and then I started crying as soon as I saw Brooke get out of the car, and she started crying, and you as a teenager, you don't really think about anyone dying.
We hope this resonates with students throughout the whole year and that they will remember the mock car crash scene and drive safely.